right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desks and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Task Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it. Wow.
I was wondering if you were going to start from there. I still want to know what it's about. Tell me.
Well, I just want to address my shirt.
Oh.
It says LinkedIn because I feel like a lot of people are giving LinkedIn a hate recently. And I just want to give them a free plug. I'm just going to break the rules here. Give them a free plug with the shirt. A little LinkedIn plug.
Should I have worn my LinkedIn famous hat? I don't look good in
this. This is LinkedIn legit here. This
like
is
they sent you this shirt?
No, I made it, but it's their logo. It's their logo. It's their logo. So it's real, right? It's a thing. But guess what we got today?
What?
Legend docket.
Yes, we do have a docket, which is funny because I just prepped like 15 minutes before we got on this call, as I usually do. But I was like, man, we don't have that. We don't
tell people that.
Yes, we do tell people that. Like, are they really thinking we're sitting here preparing all week for this?
Yeah, I mean, on Wednesdays we sit down for 8 hours and we
absolutely
100%.
We absolutely do not.
Zoom
I
calls.
think this is more of a power move to be able to just do this on a whim with like 10 minutes of prep.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair. Yeah.
That's fair. That's all I'm saying.
We're in it.
Okay, we're in it. We got a docket. You're gonna handle the first one because honestly, I didn't dig into it at all. But clearly, you've done a lot of research here, so I'm very excited to listen and learn.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I did a lot of research, but okay. So I already got the thumbnail for this episode too, so I'm pumped about it. But urgent all hands, real quick. Builder.ai files for bankruptcy. If you don't know what that company is, makes sense. Not a lot of people do, but they got quite the funding. So they have about 445 million in total funding. Their last Series D was a 250 million round, 1 billion plus evaluation. So
whoa, what? And I've never heard of them.
They're a big company.
Did you hear of them before all this?
I have, just because of the funding and like the size of the company. Just because just marketing to marketers, like, you're looking for who's going to be the new client. Like Builder.ai is huge. It's not clearly not doing this correctly. Yeah. 1,500. I think there's like 1,500 people that they have to basically let go. 1,500. Wow. I'm sorry. Like that sucks for everyone. Like everyone that's losing their job. That really does suck. Let's be clear there. But wow, what happened? Right? Like,
what happened?
What the fudge happened here? Here's my kind of thought process here. I'm just going to share my screen real quick and show you their LinkedIn company page.
Very excited.
LinkedIn company page. What's their tagline? Their tagline is, "We are the next gen software development platform for every company and idea on the planet." Globe or Earth emoji.
Earth emoji. Okay.
If you're the company for everyone, you're done.
You're the company for nobody. I mean, obviously you and I are big fans of the niche.
Yes.
It has worked in our favor. That we do have, like, LinkedIn's kind of split. You have the camp for the niche and then the other camp that's like, I'm a frac, I do everything, or I'm a custom agency, I do everything. And then we're kind of at war with each other there. But there are people who do a bunch of things and are successful. Shout out Kaylee Edmondson. But she also has had a lot of like brand equity and build up there too.
But she's still very neat. Like, she's not going to work with JCPenney, like a retail store.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she's B2B SaaS, but she might even be B2B. But she's not going to work with, retail store, like an HVAC company. That's not going to be a good fit. This company is literally saying every company and every idea on the planet. That's every company.
What an incredible TAM.
That's hence the funding, right? Like that's how you get that big funding.
Which is hilarious because that's exactly what the VCs bought into, is like, this TAM's going to be incredible and yada, yada. But I mean, obviously there's a huge discrepancy between reality and like what the aspirations were. But in this case, terrible. So like, Okay, digging in, what happened?
I mean, the verdict's not out. No one's like giving the exact things. There's a TechCrunch article that might give you kind of some background, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing. But there is a part here that says Builder.ai has faced major leadership shakeups and financial issues over the past few months. In March, it was reported that the company last summer lowered its estimated revenue by 25% of the second half of 2024. In February, the company appointed a new CEO. Oh, wow. So they had a new CEO last year. Manpreet Rashia. Builder.ai hired auditors to study its financials, indicating that something has been off behind the scenes. According to Bloomberg, former employees alleged that the company had inflated sales figures by more than 20% on multiple occasions. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't you dare. So we don't know, but I'm sure it'll come out and we'll do a little loop back there.
Yeah, we'll do a little circle back. I find this to be kind of a pattern. And you and I have talked about this before. So obviously 11X did something similar, inflated their financials so they could get funding. Builder.ai got a new CEO. Builder.ai kind of is doing the same thing. But the other point is how many companies are actually doing this and how many actually get the publicity and get caught where we talk about it. And so I feel like it's bigger than obviously these two. Yeah. But it's unnerving because that's what they do. They like shift the priorities because they want to get more money and they think the minute they get more money, that will guarantee them success. And then they fall flat.
Well, there's a lot of companies that, you hear about this all the time where the only revenue they have is like the funding. So it's about like, how do you make it look good so you can get the next round of funding? When you're at Series D, yes, there is EFG, like some people do that. But at some point, it looks like they had some auditors and you just lost the funding.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's a lot of companies out there. I don't know what the stat is, but I think it's like 10% actually like kind of make it or something like that, or even lower. So we only hear about the big ones that have failed. Like, what was it a couple of years ago? What's that other company that failed a couple of years ago?
You're going to have to be far more specific.
I do feel like this happens a lot. I think either we don't hear about it or they get acqui-hired. And so it doesn't look like it's bad. So, I mean, I'm not going to call out any names, but Sendoso acquired two companies that were losing to them. I feel like those were acqui-hires. I know one definitely was. I'm not going to name it, but it definitely was.
Okay. I mean, that's fair because typically a company's goals is going to be one of two things. Like, are we big enough to go public or
aren't right now?
Yes. Do we get bought? You know what I mean? Those are kind of their two outs out of the company that they would consider a success.
So the question is, why didn't Builder get bought? Was it that bad?
Yeah, it was that bad where we will have to circle back and figure out. But I bet, yes, there's going to be a lot of financial fudging that must have happened here where it was just not salvageable at all.
We'll definitely have to circle back because there's a couple people I've seen in LinkedIn posts that said, I worked there. Or
yes.
I'd be open to talking.
There is one salesperson, which we meant to reach out to him and neither of us did. But on one of the LinkedIn posts that we saw, the one you sent me, right? Mm-hmm. Is it in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll share it. It's just a classic, LinkedIn post about Builder.ai just declared bankruptcy, 4 emojis, 250 million Series D, gone, 445 million total funding, gone, 1 billion plus valuation, gone, 1,500 plus jobs, gone. 2 possible causes. The bubble is bursting. That's fair. Mm-hmm. And then poor execution. I mean, you can always put it up for that.
Yeah,
crazy.
This is where last time I was like, the AI thing is the shiny new toy right now.
It's not the AI thing.
It's not the AI
This would have happened. Their name has AI in it. It's not the AI thing.
Okay, so then if you scroll down, one person had said, or did they delete it?
Ooh, probably got a lot of inbound. I think the comments at the time did have a lot of inbound.
I feel like we would have seen him earlier on.
Yeah, he would have been.
So maybe it's deleted now, but
unfortunately,
there was a comment that said, hey, I worked here. I was the first salesperson on the team. And he alluded to some issues that were going on and was happy to talk to anybody who wanted to talk to him about it. And a bunch of people were responding saying, tell me, DM me, I want to know. Yeah. Now the comment is missing. So I wonder how many people reached out to him and he was like, oh, this is probably not a good idea.
Probably too much.
Yeah, probably too much.
Or
but we were going to, or the company stopped him, but we were going to reach out to him and just have him do a light segment on his hypothesis. We don't know, right? It's one person's opinion. Unlike an expose episode, it would just be a segment with an opinion. So we'll see. TBD. We'll circle back on this. I did see a few posts come through. Oh, this is another one, which was a copy of the first one.
I don't know which one came first, to be honest.
What does it say?
It just says one day. Because you know how like LinkedIn just says, past a certain point, just says one day.
But do you know the tool, right? That'll give you the time?
No. What? The timestamp tool?
Yes. It's it's a post. It's very ratchet. I'm going to send it to you. And then you can do it live here for everybody.
It's very ratchet. What does that mean?
Because it looks like that. It's ratchet.
Ratchet. That's
now put in
vintage.
The link.
That's vintage.
Vintage. Okay.
All right. Get uploaded date. So what I think is the copier, don't know. The one that had less engagements was uploaded on, uploaded on Tuesday, May 20th. I'm terrible at this.
11 p.m.
11 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
It's military time.
You can't read military time?
I can. It was just backwards. Next one.
Next.
So 11 p.m. Tuesday, May 22nd or 20th. Oh, all right.
3
That was the
p.m.
copier. So we were right. The one that had the most engagement, Mark Jivko, and
the copier
was copied by Jyothis Joseph.
Jyothis Joseph.
Yep. That's what happens, isn't it?
Yep. That is what happens quite commonly on the platform. Copying an entire website, though, that's next up.
We'll circle back there.
Little tie back. Okay. So I taught you a new tool. You can't read military time. And we found out who people can read. Okay, fine. I take it back.
I know how to read military time.
I take it back.
15 is going to be 3 p.m.
That was a long calculation.
No,
but I'll give it to you. Okay. You're also going to cover this next one because I didn't actually dig deep into the ZoomInfo and the head-to-head live test. What happened there?
All right. To be fair, how much of this is true? It's a LinkedIn post. So we're making some assumptions as per usual. But co-founder Jack P of BirdDog posted about ZoomInfo backing out of head-to-head test live on LinkedIn after spending $196 million to compete with our startup. So BirdDog.
What does BirdDog do?
I thought it was the pants. You know what I'm talking about? The bird pants. There's like pants that are like BirdDog or something like that.
No, I'm not aware of these pants.
Okay, well, they're basically a data provider. It says, so BirdDog is the platform for finding almost any information on prospects.
Okay, interesting.
So it's probably like just
ZoomInfo competitor.
Kind of like an Apollo ZoomInfo part type of thing. It sounds like Jack P, co-founder of BirdDog, wanted to go head to head on the data. I'm assuming what he's talking about here is data head to head test.
Let's see how accurate theirs is versus ours.
And he says, here's what happened. ZoomInfo launched a product that competes with our startup. So we called them out. Fair. The post blew up. The sales team saw it and reached out to set up a public test. Love it. Live on LinkedIn. All right.
Ooh.
Really going for this LinkedIn formatting here. There's a lot of lines.
Yeah.
We agreed, period. Then, upper management shut it down, told their team to delete comments and not to engage. Why? Because comparing was too risky. Their signals stale. Ours updated daily. Their cost 15x more. Ours actually works. What? Weird way to say that. And our sales team of 2, still undefeated against 797 AEs at ZoomInfo. So I'll say it publicly. ZoomInfo put it to a test, just signal versus signal. You define the terms. All right, so he does link to the OG post, but he also puts an image of a text message.
Yes, a text message probably between him and a sales guy.
Yeah, the text message, he says, you can call that ZoomInfo guy. If not, I can later. Calling now. His manager killed it. Skull emoji. He said upper management pinged him and told him to delete the comment. All right.
Wow. Okay, so let's go to the original.
Original post was from Jack P. This is about like a week from the post. Yeah, week before. So the original post says ZoomInfo just invested $196 million to rip off our startup and is charging sales team 15x the price for a worse product. Here's how we've beat them twice in head-to-head deals and taken multiple of their customers. Sales has gone nuts with AI in 2025. There are tools to automate from email sending to CRM updates to note taking and even closing deals. ZoomInfo is no different. With the launch of AI Copilot, a tool promising to find real-time signals on your accounts, generate a sales pitch. It's very similar to what we do at BirdDog. Yes, we are stealing their customers.
Not yes.
Yet.
Don't be starting shit.
That is funny. Yeah, we are stealing their customers. So how are 2 recent college grads beating them with no brand, no marketing team, and no formal sales experience? Because we understand what matters. It's not the flashy brand or long legacy. When a sales team sets up a signal, they expect it to be right, not old, stale information. And our users who flipped summarize it best. With ZoomInfo, the signals are not just useful, they're out of date and very general. That's why our sales team of 2 has 100% success rate in beating 797 AEs at ZoomInfo. Think about how frustrating that must be, spending $200 million on a product just to lose a small startup that blows your product out of the water. At BirdDog, we weren't trying to win a few small deals. We were trying to take one of the biggest competitors in the space on and win. Not to prove it to ourselves, but to make sure each of the customers know they're getting the best product on the market to learn about prospects. Where's the fucking head-to-head?
Yeah.
I don't like this.
I don't like this at all. And I'll tell you this, which is in the second post, go back to the second post. This kind of ties back to our conversation last time when we did the comparison between PagerDuty and Incident.io. But this is just in a LinkedIn post format. Mm-hmm. So if you go up and he says, okay, comparing was too risky. And then he goes into a comparison. Their signals, stale, but no specificity. Ours, updated daily. Their cost 15 times more. Ours actually works. What does that mean?
That's not
no
that's
specificity.
Not that's not even a comparison there.
Yeah, that's not even
cost
like
versus does it work?
Yeah, exactly. And okay, sales team of 2, and then they have 797 A's at ZoomInfo. To be fair, I've been in the ZoomInfo product. I've used it. You've used it. I've used it in-house. I'd never heard of BirdDog before. You thought it was a pants company or something. So my issue with this is that if you look at both of these posts, he's really capitalizing on I'm going to punch up and talk shit about ZoomInfo. ZoomInfo probably looks at these guys as too small to really like come back.
Not to interrupt here, but BirdDogs is
a pants company. Okay.
It literally is. So they must have BirdDog.ai.
Okay, perfect. It is also a pants company, but that is not the company we are talking about. You are not wrong. Okay, so my issue with this is they're kind of using that hook to get a lot of attention, which is working. It's easy to do because ZoomInfo is a big company. You can punch up. Second, I mean, he's not showing proof of the comment that they made on that post. You know, like they could have taken a screenshot of like the post that said, oh, ZoomInfo, you know, we commented on a ZoomInfo post or whatever, and the sales rep offered to go head to head, and their people were like, sure, and then management killed it. They haven't shown us anything from the actual ZoomInfo side, and therefore makes this a little bit hard to believe for me. And even the original post, the video that they posted or whatever, the screenshot just tells me nothing. What does it tell me? How our AI tool generated what? 100 million in just 6 months? Like, what does that tell me? Nothing. So I'm kind of iffy on this. I don't think it's doing what he says it's doing because there's no proof of what he's claiming. Yeah,
because he says ZoomInfo backed out of a head-to-head test live on LinkedIn. And then PS, the OG post. The OG post does not have that in there. Oh, he said the comments were deleted. So that must be it. Someone must have commented from ZoomInfo.
Yeah.
Let's do a head-to-head test.
And then their management killed it. But again, there's no screenshot of that comment. Like, do we know that it happened? I don't know. So for me, I'm like, you know.
I don't doubt it did happen, but I mean, it's a big it's a public company. They're not going to like do that.
Yeah, it is risky.
There's a lot of things that get approved there.
But I feel like the comparisons aren't fair either. I feel like you would do more hard comparisons if you're going to do it, and that specificity is missing. But I don't know. I don't buy any of this. Not that it didn't happen. I just ZoomInfo in this sense is right not to engage because I feel like it's you're kind of, I don't know, bringing
It's
guns to like a knife fight. I don't know.
You don't want to give attention to something like this.
Yeah.
It's a completely different. This is the plan. Like this is what people do. Apollo did this for a long time. They came at ZoomInfo. Other data providers, I'm sure, have done this as well, just not as big of a scale. This is the game. This is the game you do in data providers. You go after the big one and you kind of call them out, and that's fair.
And then when you're on ZoomInfo side, you're sitting there going, well, this market is super competitive. Am I going to pick a fight with every single person out there? That's one. The second thing is you and I talked about data providers a few episodes ago, and you were like, every single one is giving me a different list of companies that are on my website or like different types of signals. So like, can you really compare apples to apples? I don't know or think so. Who determines what that is? So it's just going to be a shark attack that probably neither side wants. Well, these guys apparently want it, but it's like, again, what are you going to compare it to when in the post you're not specific enough and comparing them the right way? There's not like a single feature.
I'm not saying
go for it because we would be able to watch and bring the popcorn.
I say go for it. Like, or this is the kind of marketing play. Have at it. But I just want to remind you, Apollo tried the same thing. Look what happened to Apollo.
Apollo had a lot of other issues too, though. So.
Well, I mean, that's what happens. Good for them. Do it.
Okay.
Or actually just buy the product, buy ZoomInfo and test the signals.
I'm sure that they've done some competitive research and stuff.
Where's that data?
There's ways.
Where's that data, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I think Jack's got to,
stick to pants.
He's got to stick to pants.
Stick to pants.
Okay. All right. We are going to move on. The next thing is Duolingo, for the third time, is being mentioned on our podcast.
No plugs here.
No plugs here. And only one of those times was for an actual marketing campaign that they did. I mean, I guess this one kind of ties into it. It was a good campaign, the April Fool's Day one.
Yeah.
But I saw this post on there, and it is this is the first time I actually saw it. So Kyle Kruger said, "What the fuck is going on with Duolingo? Seriously, please help me understand. Over the years, I've grown to admire the team behind the brand. They have been pushing the envelope and redefining marketing to younger audiences while creating a beautiful, fun, and engaging brand. However, this latest stunt has me baffled. Can someone please explain the strategy or what I'm missing? Deleting all their social posts and then putting up a half-hearted and poorly written kidnapping skit?" So you already know I was like hooked. I was like, oh, what's going on here? I get damage control after the AI announcement, but this just seems like gasoline on the fire. Now, Amanda Natividad.
Say it.
Yeah, Natividad. Natividad. Stop it. You always make me second guess my names. Okay. So I liked her rundown of what happened, and I tried to find it in different places, but she did her best because she's, marketing goddess. So
Natividad. Yeah.
Natividad. So did you catch Duolingo's Hacked by the Social Team video this week? Here's the timeline. They announced they're going AI first, which we covered. The backlash was immediate, especially from fans who love the brand's human voice. We also covered that. But then what happened is they wiped their entire TikTok and Instagram accounts of all their social posts. They stayed quiet for a few days and then came back with a Down with the Elites video featuring a voice-changed actor in a hoodie. And this is that kidnapping skit. Naturally, we have thoughts. Oh, also, she launched a new podcast called Meme Team, where they also cover some of the most like viral stuff. So while we cover anything ridiculous,
nothing viral.
Nothing truly viral, they do viral stuff, which I love her. So free plug, she gets one. Go listen.
Oh, we're doing free plugs.
Just a few. Okay, but I think it's worth actually playing the video on our podcast.
Do it.
So we're going to do it right now. So this is the video that Duolingo posted.
Oh, see, this is cool.
I'm from the Duolingo social team, and it's time you all learn the truth. Enough is enough. If you have seen this video, I'll know my plan has worked. I've had it with the CEOs and those in power. It is time we show them who's in charge. We taught the green bird how to twerk. We put him on the map, only for the elite to ruin it all. Everything came crashing down with one single post about AI. And for those accounts pretending to be me, you can't outdo the doer. You know that one time where that wasn't a stunt, it was a signal, a distraction from what was really going on. We were just told to act normal. But I haven't had one normal thought since 2022. No more wearing that sweaty suit. No more taking the fall. We can't just move on and pretend that everything is fine. It isn't. No owl should be above the law. And no, they can't stop me. It's time to teach you a lesson. I changed all the passwords. Here comes the truth in 3, 2, 1. Hello, world.
Okay, so that's their post, and admittedly, people had mixed reviews of this. People are still mad about the AI, so there's a lot of, hey, just use people again, stop using the AI. Okay, but remove AI. And now it's going, okay, so you're giving back jobs to people fired in favor of AI, or you're just trying to distract people. And then people are like, hey, this is a marketing tactic called our statement of AI first made us lose money, and now it's time to backtrack and gaslight that we were on the customer side this whole time. Here's an interesting fact about this. Duolingo stock prices actually rose after their AI announcement.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, so that makes sense. So even though that happened, they felt like kind of a revolution was coming. I'm going to call it the Target effect, because when Target got rid of their DEI stuff, people just boycotted them. And now with so many people having boycotted Duolingo when the AI announcement came up, they're kind of seeing the writing on the wall and they're like, shit, we can't do this. And so they did a little backtracking. Bold move to delete every single post on social. Like, that's crazy. Like, a brand like them who gets so much fanfare, so many reactions, so many comments, to just delete all of that is completely insane, and only something they would do.
Quick note there, because I don't know about you, but if I'm on Instagram, TikTok, like, I get some older videos.
I mean, I see your older videos all the time.
No, I'm saying, like, I'll get videos and I'll like, oh, like, I've never seen this account before. I'll click on it and it'll be like, just watched, and it'll be like all the way down, like very, very far down. So them deleting them, like, think about all the videos that are just not getting exposure anymore because they're getting deleted. Like, if it was LinkedIn, you could delete all your last year videos. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can see them. You could delete the last 3 months or the 3 months, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
This is different. Like, this, it's very bold that they did that.
Very bold. I kind of don't get the kidnapping thing, although they're maybe saying, oh, the elites kind of took over our account and are making these AI announcements.
It's a bit.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's a lot to sacrifice in the name of a bit. And for not exactly the reward that they were looking for in here. What are your thoughts on this campaign?
I think Duolingo's ahead of their game. I think we all just like to bash it, but I think they're next level.
Do you think they're going to come back from this AI thing? Because people are pretty pissed.
They came back from the killing the bird.
I mean, were people really impacted by that?
Yes. Though? People didn't. There was tons of posts about people like, oh, it's so cruel that you killed a bird. Like, all this like weird stuff. Like,
wait, did they phically like kill a bird?
No.
On social?
They killed the mascot. They killed the mascot.
Okay.
I just think that they're trying things. Like, why not try things? I think they're trying things, and I think they're going to figure it out. They'll probably do something different after this. It'll be fine. No one remembers. Yeah. In a month from now, it'll be back to whatever the fun stuff is, and no one's going to remember it.
Well, we'll see. You know where they did not delete posts? LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, I did go to their LinkedIn posts.
Always.
They still have all of their, engineering and weird stuff on there. So that's the latest with Duolingo. TBD on whether this does turn around for them, but knowing them, they're probably going to do some other crazy stunts and hopefully win people back. But yeah, I mean, unless they completely walk back the AI thing, I don't know if it's ever going to
so fast. I think they're going to be fine. Like, they're just going to, or they'll stick to the AI thing and it'll be great. They could have did that too. I think it'd have been fun.
Yeah.
Because their content is different than their AI stuff. They're probably using AI in it a little bit. Maybe that video was AI. I don't know. We don't know.
Maybe, I don't know if that video was AI, but this is a good segue into the next one, which is the AI layoffs begin.
This is
more
sad,
sad,
but happening. I mean, this is
bad, but happening, and we feel obligated to bring it up. So this is a post by Trisha Jose.
Osa.
Okay.
Trisa.
Okay. So Trisha says, Came across this infographic. What do you see? Layoffs are being framed as transformation for the future of work. Yes, but a future shaped by whom and for who. For me, the most telling part is not the job cuts. It's the fact that it's the same type of person making these important calls at the largest and most influential companies in the world. As AI becomes more embedded within our systems, whose values get coded in, who benefits, and who gets left behind? We don't need new tech. We need new voices at the table. And this infographic, hopefully you're watching, but it's an infographic of all these big CEOs.
By the way, in the middle of it is the Salesforce one. So Benny Hoff, which is the funniest one because I don't know if you remember, they're like, oh, we're hiring 1,000 new SDRs to sell AI SDRs. And they're like, oh, we're firing 1,000 people. It's like, oh, right.
Never mind, just kidding. So this infographic says the job cuts are back, only this time they're not about cost cutting. They're about making room for AI. Meanwhile, Klarna offers a warning as it is going through trouble ever since replacing its workforce with AI last year. So that's
did you see that? It was a backtrack. Like they just did it and then they kind of like, ooh.
Oh shit, we actually need human intervention. Yeah, I don't think it
doesn't work as well as we thought.
Yeah. So 6,000 at Microsoft, 200 sales and partnership teams in US and Asia at Google, PwC, 1,500. I knew about that. That was kind of more recent. 1,000 at Salesforce, 5% expected in 2025 at Meta, hundreds at IBM, 2,000 at HP, 22% at Chegg, Duolingo, 10% of workforce, which we just covered also, and then Dell, 12,000, and Klarna, 700, but recovering from layoffs. So there's a lot going on here. This is the reality of the situation, is that obviously, you know, we live in a for-profit world. They're going to do what's best for business and then say it's not personal yet. I feel like the job market isn't going to get any better. But yeah, what are your thoughts? I mean, this is just the biggest companies. We are seeing this across many, many other companies who aren't as on the map as these. So it's just a trend that's going to follow. But do you think everyone is going to go through the Klarna way and be like, oh shit, we actually need humans to manage this stuff?
I mean, yeah, I think there will be that. If you fire 1,000 people, I don't think you're going to hire back 1,000 people.
That's true.
So I think they just went too much, right? So think about the Microsoft one. That was a very recent one. That was like last week. They're like 6,000 people, 6,000 or 7,000 people. Only 3% of their, Microsoft's huge, right? Like it's a big company.
Yeah.
Only 3%. I think they started small and not to, so they don't mess up like Klarna did, who probably went overboard. And then they'll probably cut more as they see what happens.
Yeah.
I think it's just inevitable. I'm not saying it's, obviously it sucks. If you're one of those people that got let go, it sucks. It really does. But I think the writing's on the wall. These big companies are going to do that because I think they were already overbloated. Like there was that too. I mean, there was
the COVID overhiring. Well,
there's the classic stories of the companies just hiring to take talent away rather than just because they need talent. All those people like, what's that? There's that show, the Silicon Valley. Have you ever watched Silicon Valley, that show?
Briefly.
There's like a whole part where there's Hooli, who's like a Google type of company or a Meta company. They would just hire people and they would just like sit on the rooftop grilling hot dogs and stuff because they were just getting paid to do that just because they didn't want Microsoft or whoever the competitor is to have those engineers. Like that was a classic thing. Like that's real stuff too. Like there's all those stories around that where you just overbloated. And I think it's just going to get worse. It's not a good thing, but it's kind of like it's happening. There's no way around it.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't have the answers, obviously. We're just kind of bringing this over, but the
be
AI,
better than others. I mean, that's the only thing.
I mean, even then, like, I don't even think it's like necessarily performance related. I think that it is.
Let's be clear.
Do you think it is?
The top performers didn't get let go.
Oh, we're going to talk about this right now. But here's there's lots of reasons though. Like I've been laid off twice personally. I still have my annual reviews, right? Don't you make that face. I still have my annual reviews. Let's say it was stellar. I was going to get promoted, all of these things. But then for me, it was a little bit different. They didn't like that I was writing on LinkedIn. There was a lot of other reasons outside of performance. Politics, 100%. I wasn't playing the game anymore. I wasn't being a yes ma'am. And so they didn't like that. I wasn't a team player in their minds anymore. I wasn't licking the boots. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of other reasons that could happen. Productivity is definitely one of them. Bloat is another, right? And so, there's also like outsourcing. So people are getting rid of in-house people and then saying, okay, I'll just hire a consultant or frac where there's less risk. I'm not paying for the benefits. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. So like, I would say performance is not even in the top like 5. I know people who are really good at their jobs who was still let go because you think that you can get someone for cheaper, right? So after I left one company, they took the job description, lowered the title, halved the pay, and then posted the job a few months later. So it's also that of like, can we get similar talent for cheaper? And the reality is that we are in a very competitive job market. It is an employer's market. So they likely can get a very talented person for less money and they have, their pick of the litter.
Yeah. And I'm not saying everything comes down to top performing and all that. But if there's 2 people that are exactly the same, you have to pick one, they're going to pick the top performer.
Yeah.
Unless you 1,000%. Sleep with one or like there's all that stuff too. Like there's politics. Like,
okay.
I didn't big realize companies, people are sleeping with each other. You know that. There's that.
Yes, that's not where my mind would go to first. But what kind of companies have you worked at?
I watched a lot of Silicon Valley.
That's my question.
Remember that. I watch shows.
That's what happens there. Okay. Anyway, so yeah.
But the thing here is that Microsoft, I'm pretty sure their stock is up. Like it's not about like this isn't about like 2023 when like revenues are down. I think it's more about
efficiency.
Yeah.
For profit. Capitalism. #.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Tis what it is. That's where we live. Sucks for us. Okay, moving on. I saw this post by Adam Goyette. Why do people have difficult names? Why? Okay.
They're born with them. They're nice.
Okay. Adam, founder at Growth Union. I've been following him for a minute. As far as I can tell, super smart guy. Never talked to him outside of this, which now Notorious has given me an excuse to just send people messages like, send me a link to this. But he posted, this week alone on LinkedIn, I have seen 1, a post about someone's porn addiction. 2, a selfie post someone took with a family member in the background on a ventilator in the hospital. And 3, someone talk about losing custody of their kids and how it helped them start an AI company. Maybe we should all take a break from the internet for a bit. No, I don't want you to do that because I want to talk about these posts on here. So keep posting wild shit on LinkedIn. Obviously, I was very intrigued by this post. I asked him to send me the links to all of them, purely for research purposes, of course, not at all for us to cover on this podcast. And he was a great guy and he did send it to me. Okay. So he did not send me the family member in a hospital thing. And maybe that's something we don't even want to show because like, why? But let's look at Mr. Porn Addict. I'm curious here. And just so you guys know, I have actually not read this post. He had just sent the links. So we're going to read it all and react to it all together. Okay. Michael E. Pyle. Don't know what he does. And honestly, not worried about it. Starts the hook, right? Which we know is the most important part of any LinkedIn post is the hook. And the hook says, I'm a porn addict, he screams into the universe. This reminds me of like Michael Scott in The Office where he goes, I declare bankruptcy. And he's like, I declare I'm a porn addict. No, this is not just a hook. Oh shit.
Best hook ever.
I feel called out. I feel called out. It started at a young age. Napster chat rooms. Remember Napster, the free music downloading platform? Okay, so he's a millennial. The addiction grew over time in high school, college, and beyond. I then married the woman of my dreams. Porn was still part of my life. What the fuck? We had our first daughter together. Porn was present. That's nice. So gross to me to put those two sentences together. Had our second daughter, still porn. Third daughter, porn. Can we please? And our son was born 2 years ago, still porn. He's had 4 kids and porn has seen him through all of this. Maybe porn is the name of his wife.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be a funny thing.
Okay. It was April 27th, 2025 when I told my wife I am giving up porn for good. It was the first time I'd said it out loud to another person. I've been working with a therapist since October of 2024. I asked him to help me with the 3 addictions I turn to when I'm stressed: my phone, sugar, and porn. Honestly, sounds pretty fucking
good.
sweet. Okay, stop. All right. I told him porn was the number one thing I wanted to tackle. It served zero purpose for me, but I allowed it in because it felt like it protected me. If I was mad, stressed, etc., I'd secretly turn to porn. Not my wife, not figuring out how to solve my stress in a healthy way. Porn was my answer. And as much as I wish this post never had to be written because I had deep shame about my porn usage, you know what? It's okay to not write about it. It's okay. It's okay not to publish this. You know,
this might be like a 10 steps thing for porn addiction.
I know that shame and guilt are bred in secrecy and denial. And outside of my therapist, my wife, and a good friend who I told over coffee just this morning.
Wow.
I haven't told anyone until now. My parents, siblings, kids, friends, parents, past coworkers, friends, random people, all the biggest. Now you all know the biggest secret of my entire life. But I want other men and women to know that I struggle and have struggled for 25 plus years. I want people to know that even though I grew up Catholic, have 3 sisters, 3 daughters, a marriage of 9 years, and a seemingly perfect life, porn became an addiction. I'm deeply ashamed of it. La-di-da-di-da. I want to run my life. You are not alone if you watch porn in secret. It's gross. It's nasty. You pervert. That's what people are going to say about it. These are all my thoughts and perceptions about what people will think.
Do people watch porn not in secret?
I don't know. There are people who watch porn together, right?
Porn? Like, is that a thing?
Like a group thing? I
guess.
I don't know. Yeah. I want to help others who live in shame and who think they're the only ones. My kids at an appropriate age will hear me talk about it openly. There will be no more secrecy. I'm human. I just want you reading this to know you are not alone. And
with the selfie here.
With the selfie.
Okay. Did you see that first one?
Yeah, so this is him commenting on his own post.
Oh.
Yeah, and he said that hat helped me post this. You've quietly been inspiring me with your own journey. Imagine that guy who sent the swag out and didn't realize he was inspiring porn addicts to go public. Yes, I know. Okay, so, I mean, here's one thing I'll say about LinkedIn. For the most part,
yeah,
it is a very supportive community. I mean, people who are like, dude, you know, you're putting yourself out there, freaking amazing, keep going, yada, yada. Now, answer me this. Do you think this post belongs here or no? Do you think it's helping him with inbound?
I don't have an answer because if someone else is a porn addiction and then they're like, oh, shoot, this guy also is a financial planner. Boom. It could be that. Maybe he knows his audience. Maybe he knows his audience. No, it should not be there.
I mean, yeah, it's rare that something leaves me speechless, but this kind of did. I mean, I don't know what to do with this kind of like vulnerability on this platform, but also sometimes it's okay not to go public with something like this. I mean, ultimately, it is kind of a work platform, which I know is ironic coming from me who treats this like it's Facebook, but I don't know. I don't know.
Since I'm devil's advocate boy over here.
Yeah, good boy.
People talk about like not drinking, like having.
Yeah.
They talk about that on LinkedIn. That doesn't give like a lot of shame. Like that people.
True.
You know, I used to be on drugs. I used to be poor. Like I used to, drink, like be an alcoholic. There's all that stuff.
You're right.
Is that now if he's being, real, like if it's an actual porn addiction, he's talking to. Because you don't know. You just don't know if it's real or if it's just for the freaking.
That would be diabolical for someone to write something like this and it isn't even real.
Have no idea. You have no idea how the world works anymore. This is the internet. The internet's dead. I mean, if it is real, think about that. I get it. Like people don't shame you if you talk about being an alcoholic and then like you're 10 years sober.
Wow.
People give you kudos. Think about that.
I guess. Yeah.
Now, if that picture was of him like with lotion and stuff, like that'd been weird. Like that'd been weird. But
lotion and a box of tissues.
Like getting ready, like walking to the, I don't know, like firing up the phone.
Or like, or like a picture of him throwing the lotion in the trash. Like it's done.
Or like one last time.
Oh my God.
It's definitely weird, but I don't know. I guess
it sounds like you kind of respect him for it. You respect it.
I would never do it if that was me. Like no shot. But like what? I guess there's people have problems, and maybe that again. He's going to a therapist. It sounds like it's like one of those things. Like I'm feeling better about myself. I'm kind of getting through it.
Yeah,
put it out there. Maybe LinkedIn's his friends. Where those friends are.
Maybe it's safer to post it on LinkedIn than like on Facebook where grandma's hanging out.
I mean, his family's still going to see. Like someone is going to see it and be like, isn't this your son? Like, isn't this your brother? Isn't this like, isn't this your financial planner?
Yeah, isn't this your financial planner? That would be super interesting to me. But yeah, that would be interesting. I would wonder what his wife feels about him just, throwing that out there.
I don't think he asked her.
No
shot. Is this his thing? I'm not saying you should do this, but it's just, it's weird.
Okay. Now, the other post, which is the guy who lost his custody battle for his kids.
Yes.
And then decided to start an AI company. Okay.
These posts are long.
I know. Paul Salamanca. Founder and CEO of Simon.ai. Simon? Okay. During my darkest moments, one thing that helped me the most was change the way you look at things and things you look at will change. Quote. A simple quote by my man, Wayne Dyer, RIP. That one quote hit differently when I couldn't see my kids. My dad was in the ICU after traumatic injury. I was arguing with the business partners over equity, all happening in the same week. I had no clear path forward, personally or professionally, and I could have looked at all of it and said, it's over, I failed, I'm terrible, whatever. But I didn't. I changed the lens. Instead of, why is this happening to me? I asked, what is this trying to teach me? And I focused on what I still had, a vision, story, shot, etc. And a calling I couldn't walk away from. That shift in perspective didn't just change my mindset, it changed the outcomes. I gave myself 2 weeks to find a new home and go all in on a new idea. And that's what became my company, Simon.ai. I raised capital, rebuilt from the ground up. And we're solving real problems. So if you're in the middle of a storm right now, if the odds are stacked, the weight feels heavy, the path isn't clear, change your angle, tell a better one. And because once you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change, guaranteed. And picture of him and his daughter. So
no,
right?
Is it?
No,
it's not. It's not even the same picture.
Yeah, I know. It's like two. Like he's looking at her, she's looking at him.
But is that part of the gimmick? Like he can't see his kids still?
Oh, it's like a FaceTime.
No, it's two. It's two different pictures put together.
Yeah, it's two.
Right?
Maybe it's part. Oh my God.
Isn't that terrible?
This platform is so freaking unhinged.
It's definitely two different pictures together.
Yes, it's two different pictures of him essentially eating with his child, but not. So a picture of her and then picture of him. So super interesting. This is as wild as this is the kind of post I'm accustomed to seeing on LinkedIn. They're like, I'm going to tell you a really deep, dark secret. And I'm going to tell you how I like started at the bottom and now I'm here kind of thing. We do this transformation story format thing all the time. So this was the other post that Adam had alluded to seeing. I have not seen the hospital selfie, but you know what I did see is this one, which was an outbound email. Peter had posted about it and said, I want to vomit. We've lost sight of what it means to be real. We've forgotten how to be human. We use spam machines to fire shit like this out into the world in the name of marketing and engagement. Make it stop. This is a genuine email sent to me yesterday. If you don't believe me, send me your email and I'll forward the original. What if like that's a way for him to get leads? Like, here's my email address. And he's like, gotcha, sucker. Like comment for. Okay. The email says, subject line, that time I almost died in a plane crash. And then it starts off when I was
Starts 15, with emoji though. Let's not forget that. It starts with a black
dot emoji. What's that supposed to mean?
I think it's just emojis and headline and subject lines. I think that's the thing.
When I was 15 years old, I almost got into a near fatal plane crash and it taught me everything I needed to know about making a great offer.
At 15, huh?
I freaking died when I read that and I was like, oh, what's it going to teach me about B2B sales? No, it's not even B2B sales. It's about a freaking offer. And the comments are freaking hilarious. So apparently this I don't know who Dan Henry is, but apparently he's a knob, according to some people.
Complete knob. I don't know if he's like on like an Alex Hormozy type bro
guy.
This is like a gimmick. Like people are saying that sounds like Dan Henry. Like this is like his bit. It sounds like
this is him. Like how he does.
This is what he
things.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking this guy up. It's a super like
look him up
name.
But it's funny because there are people who are like, when I was 5 years old, I was battling with alcoholism while living on the streets as a one-armed disabled man. It taught me everything I needed to know about B2B enterprise sales. It's so true. Like, why do we do this? We do this, it's so insane. But this is kind of like what the feed has become is like these weird stories where someone once said, hey, you need to grab people and make them feel emotions. And then we took it like 10 steps way too far. And this is where we've ended up. So that's the Unhinged feed happening this week. Have you found anything on Dan?
I found Dan Henry. Yeah. Okay. So
is he a knob?
I will say he looks like a knob. I don't know the definition of a knob, but it looks like a knob.
He looks like a knob. Okay.
Yeah. His website's called getclients.com.
Okay.
He looks like a, what's it called? The freaking funnel, one of those funnel guys.
Funnel guys. I like how it shows connections and not like followers either. What are his posts like? Oh no, it says 2,000 followers.
Where?
Right under activity. It says 2,036 followers.
36 followers.
Are you sure this is the same Dan?
Yeah, because he's pretty, I think he's bigger on Instagram and like, so he's probably more of a.
Like a B2C guy?
Well, I think
YouTube
offers are
guy?
still B2B, right? Like.
Yeah, maybe. Not really, because Alex Hormozi talks about offers and he is a total B2C guy, like the gym.
Yeah, he's got 262,000 on Instagram. So he's more of like a Alex Hormozi type of.
Yes, influencer.
Style.
Interesting.
Yeah, all his posts are like Mr. Beast, Tony Robbins. Did you know KFC? Here's the top 10 hooks. $1 million with here's my first $1 million. Girlfriend's ass on the what?
What? What now?
Little exercise you can
definitely
do.
Pull up that
rich
post.
Guys spark post. All right, this is weird.
Yeah. So, that's the thing is like one of these bros came up with some framework for like twist the knife, show emotion. And then we went way too far with like the weird, like, let me just talk about all my dirty laundry so then you can connect to me and feel relevant, or like losing custody of kids. And here's the thing. What?
So one of his posts, I mean, this does sound like a Dan Henry here. I became a millionaire in 5 months after starting my info business. Drop your number one question in the comment. Like this is the kind of guy I'm talking about here.
Okay. Yep. This is knob material. I feel like.
Yeah. Pretty
knobby.
By the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of like an Alex Hormozi type style. So the plane crash thing, this is not unusual. It was funny because Alex Hormozi's wife, what's her name? Leah, something like that. So she posted about how she found Alex through a dating app. And at the time, she wanted to make sure she found the best partner possible. And so what she ended up doing was she was like, so I ran it like a process. I did 10 dates a week and 50 dates a month or whatever. And then I found Alex. And the irony of that whole situation is when she had met him, he was like deadbeat broke, according to their other sob stories, right? And so the hilarious thing to me is like, she went on 50 dates with all of these dudes. And she was like, this unemployed guy that has nothing going for him and, is on some kedidoses, like that's the guy that's for me. And it was just freaking hilarious to me. But maybe it's like drive and gumption and all of those things too. But like you're taking a big bet there. But it was so funny because it's like, how can I just turn something really personal into a business lesson? And it's like, sometimes there isn't a lesson. Okay. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what your porn addiction and jumping out of a plane or whatever teaches you about B2B sales. So that's where I'm like, are we going too far? I don't know.
The plane might be a bit. I'm just looking at his Instagram posts and he's got an Instagram post of him
in a plane.
Flying a plane. I think it looks like he's flying a plane. Instagram is always about showing off your highlights. So today I'm doing the opposite. Here are some not so great things about me. I'm looking for the almost died in a plane. I still feel
nothing.
Poor. No, I don't see it. Sometimes I miss delivering pizzas.
Wow, I'm so tired of being a millionaire. Poor me.
Yeah, in 5 months. I'm just waiting for the drop shipping course, but I don't see it.
I know. That's what I thought initially it was drop shipping, but it's not. But here we go.
But like this guy would kill on LinkedIn. I mean, because look at this one. Where was it? Founding a startup is like giving birth to a giraffe. It starts small, but if you don't let it die, it becomes
what?
Huge. Be a good mother to your. Oh my, yeah, he'd kill on LinkedIn. Good.
He kind of is already. He's not even trying on LinkedIn, and
not really. He's only got 2,000 followers.
Yeah, he's not trying on LinkedIn, and still people are talking about him. So
how about that engagement?
How about we talk about a LinkedIn strategy that's like be a knob and you'll grow really fast.
Oh, here we go. He's got 297 copywriting hooks. This is 100% a ClickFunnels guy.
Oh yes, totally.
I bet you the airplane thing is in this hook. I'm not going to download it because I refuse.
No,
to
do Control
funnels.
F airplane. I bet you'll find something.
Well, I'm just not trying to like I have to like give my information.
Okay.
Definitely not trying to get into
Definitely
the
don't,
here.
because once you're in, you'll never be able to escape.
Well, how do you think that email came out? Like that? He's probably in the ClickFunnels.
Yeah, he probably signed
Probably
up
download
at
the
some
book.
point.
It's
You
that
know.
guy's fault now. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
ours.
He signed up. Don't sign up for knobs.
Give your life away when you sign up for these ebooks, you know?
Okay, that's a wrap.
All right. Retention rate's dying.
Dead.
See ya.
And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't and post a passive aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.